Hey everybody, this is Derek from AQW Slutted. How are you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be doing a top 10 AQW releases ever made. So let's get started. Number 10, Voltaire's first musical appearance. This this musical appearance was quite unexpected for a lot of us because back in 2009, not many of us actually knew how AQ Worlds was going to work on releases and everything. It was really hard to tell, and not many of us knew that this was ever going to happen. So when it came out, it was quite a surprise, and it was pretty goddamn catchy, and that's pretty amazing. But then again, it was back in 2009, so it really wasn't expected. But unknowing to us all, this release would spawn one of the most used items in game to date. That item being Voltaire's notorious top hat, which would become one of the most overused items in game ever. Number 9. The introduction of the Chuckles to School t-shirt. Some could argue that this shirt spawned hundreds of real-life merchandise from the Arc's entertainment staff and created corruption and in fact they're evil zombies trying to suck your brains away. But that would be ridiculous and irrational. They couldn't do that. Number 8. Out of this world. Now I know what you're thinking. Why in the name of Cthulhu is this on my list? Well, I'll tell you why. You just need to be patient. Jeez. This release truly shows the amount of respect Artist Entertainment has for some of the accomplishments we have made as human beings and truly shows that they, in fact, are not heartless zombies. I digress. This shop was a celebration of 40 years later after the first moon landing of Apollo 11. That just flat out reads awesome to me. So I gotta say, good job, Artist Entertainment. Number 7. Remember when AQ Worlds wasn't about rare items and people played just to play? No, you don't? Well, that's okay. But this item on the list is probably what started the trend of rare item hunting. To be fair, there were items before it, but my god, the feedback this release got really put an idea into Artist Entertainment's head. And you know what? I can't blame them. This release being Talk Like a Pirate Day. Talk Like a Pirate Day is actually a pretty well unknown holiday, if you can even call it a holiday, that people apparently celebrate somewhere in the world. Now I know what you're thinking. Man, this is supposed to be a top 10 list, and yes, it is. Don't misunderstand me. I love the Naval Commander trend. It's just this release could very well be the case of the rare item trend. It's really hard to tell. Number 6. The Upholder badges were first released in 2009 to celebrate the birthday of Adventure Quest Worlds. This badge would replace most people's non-existing Beta Berserker badges and Founder badges. The Upholder badge was a fantastic idea by the Arx Entertainment Company and was a welcomed idea. Not only did this badge allow you to say, I was here in 2009, and I'm cooler than you, it would also allow the players to get a Star Sword design according to the theme of that year. Later, these badges, however, would become themed after the naval commander of that year, but that's totally unrelated. Number 5, the 2010 St. Patrick's Day release. I know most people by the time they hit this far in the video are thinking, okay, this guy's opinion has just become invalid. Okay, while that's true, I want to say this. The 2010 release was better than the 2009 release, due to the fact they released a carnival-like release that allowed you to collect a good assortment of pets. It was so cool to see some of the ideas they came up with. However, this release did suffer due to the lack of the return of the leprechaun class. Yeah, they would make up for this later slightly by releasing Evolve Leprechaun, but it still never replaced Leprechaun. Number 4. The Weirdpire PvP armor was hands down one of the single most amazing armors ever created in Adventure Quest Worlds. It's most remembered for its cape, but when it was around and still available, people would farm for it, and I can't blame them. AE, do something like this again. You guys did so good on this, unlike that Necro armor you guys have out now. Blech. Number 3. Quibble. Now, I'm pretty sure this one will get me a lot of hate, and you know what? Go ahead and bring it on. I don't care. But leave your whips at home, please. I'm tired of getting beat with whips. Now, this kind of shoots back to the issue of rare item trends. Quibble was the shopkeeper at the time of Talk Like a Pirate Day in 2009, and this would spawn many more shops with rares. Quibble has become the poster child of all that is worth buying in Adventure Quest Worlds. He's both a hated and welcomed addition to Adventure Quest Worlds, and I hope to see him for many more years. Because, if it's not Quibble, it's not right. Ding! Number 2. Another touchy subject that most people do not like to touch on is the introduction of Nogath and Dage the Evil into the Adventure Quest Worlds community. Now, before you J6 fanboys start rioting, I am also in fact a J6 fanboy. However, I have to say these two guys were quite a welcome addition to the Adventure Quest Worlds community. Now, I might have just went on and on about how they're welcome to the Adventure Quest Worlds community, and that's okay. Now, some people might say, hey, they were around for a long time, which is true, but we're not talking about their art. We're talking about their characters being implemented into the game. This would start a whole new trend upon Adventure Quest Worlds, which might say it's a good thing or an awful thing. Now, which side of the spectrum am I on? Again, I'm a J6 fanboy. Number one, and the all-time best release ever made in Adventure Quest Worlds is, give me a drum roll please, the second birthday event. Now everybody calm down. Calm down. I know everybody's probably like, oh my god, no, that can't be the top one. I know. I know. I suck at making a list, but you know what? You watched this whole video, so just hear me out. I believe the second birthday event to be the best because it truly shined in some great opportunity for Adventure Quest Worlds on the Mirror Realm. Not only did it introduce us to a much cooler Adventure Quest Worlds, but it also introduced us to some of the best rares in the game to date. That being said, the music event did suffer, but the event itself is amazing, and I'll always hold a spot for it in my memories. Well, that wraps up my top 10 best releases ever released in Adventure Quest Worlds. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to tune in next week when we tackle the top 10 worst Adventure Quest Worlds releases. So, bye guys.